you guys hear me? I feel like every time I start a stream, I'm so unprepared. Hi. Sorry, you can probably hear my mouse too. How's everyone doing? Oh, my chat is. Is it working? I don't think it is. Hold on. Should be working, but it's not. Let me do something real quick. Sorry, this is also just troubleshooting again. Could you? Oh. That is weird. Could you try it yourself? Then see if that works. Apparently some of the redeem messages aren't really working very well. Hi everyone, how are you doing? If you're wondering why I don't have my live today motto, we'll find out in a second here. I'm like, let me know if the volume is okay too. Does it just not work? This is so dire, you guys. Okay, the volume seems good. I'm confused as to why it's not working. Is it? Okay, well, let me switch over real quick. Where's OBS set? Oh god. Hold on. Wow. That scared me. I forgot the reverb was on. Let me try and see if where's the chat at? Oh, you know, that might be it. Let me move the chair real quick. It's very much in the way. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong. How do I mod something on YouTube? to mod it, but I might have to. But it's set up in a way so that if the bot doesn't work, then it automatically goes to my channel. So, hey guys, sorry. I'm struggle tweeting a little bit right now. Trying to see, can I move the chat? Yes, I can. Alright, you guys are gonna be over here today. Well, that's a bummer. Not sure how do I do the modding actually. Oh, did I move myself? I did. Oh. Sorry, we are. Can you guys hear me at all? Yeah. I hope you can. Hi. What do you guys think? Let me try something. Okay. Oh, okay. I probably will have to do that after today. I see. Okay, let me try something. Could you, well, could you try and redeem later? That's okay. I made an account for the pod, but I'm not sure if it's, that's probably something I have to do later. And it's still not working. That's awesome. This is very unfortunate, you guys. I do it so it should works with the Sorry, you guys are gonna hear a lot of clickings today. It works with a say group permissions. It's subscribers. Internal messages. Well, because if I did, I think I did set it on Twitch, but hi everyone, welcome to the stream. We are troubleshooting my bot. Oh, it's working for me. Or wait, it's working for me, but it's working on Twitch. Why is it working? Wait, it's working on my Twitch account. Guys, why is it working on my Twitch account? What? And not my YouTube? Why is this happening? Wait, how do I fix this? Wait, is this the ASMR you guys wanted? Me troubleshooting? I'm sweating, actually. Oh my god. Okay. Wait, how do I fix this? Is this relaxing to you? Like girl failure trying to fix it? Why? I don't know. Wait, hold on. Let me, da, da, da. You know what? What good question. Wait. Oh, wait. Huh? Oh, hi. Wait, it's not even working on Twitch for you. Is it? Well. Okay. Wait, sorry, names. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh. I'm sweating a little. This is fine. Is this what you want? Is this what you guys want? An ASMR stream where I'm just... I'm using Streamer Bot and not sure how it works actually because yeah. I think sweat. I am sweating so much you guys don't even know. Oh my god. I turned on the AC too, but it's like 94 degrees today and it's not fun for me. I also sweat a lot more when I'm like stressed and nervous. So that's cool. Can you try oops. Am I lagging? Is my stream lagging? Can you try one of the like the Twitter? I don't know if that even works. Oh wait, no, don't try Twitter. Actually, sorry. Don't try Twitter. Wow. I realized I didn't set up Twitter. Well, we'll just proceed and then sources. No. What a dilemma. There is a different chat window, so it's, I assume, I'm looking at it, and I assume if I have it open, it should work. Where's the... It is monitoring the YouTube chat. Yeah, it's monitoring my YouTube chat, so... Oh, why is it... Wait. What is going on? No, why doesn't it work for you? I'm so confused. Do you guys mind if I Google this real quick? Why? Why isn't streamer bot working for my streamers? Hi. Ma. Ah, unfortunate. That is unfortunate. I'm gonna become my own fans because I'm typing in chat. Type. I type the commands on Twitch, and it connected to YouTube. So I really am not sure. I think I set it up so that the message when you type it either on Twitch or YouTube, it should send to the designated platform. Can I make you? I was meaning to do this. How do I go to YouTube Studio? Wow, this is really girl failure moment, you guys. Don't worry about it. How do I go to my live? I'm trying to go to the live monitor, but I forgot how. Oh, I found it. Okay. Okay. Well. How? Wow, guys. Is this what this is all what you want? It is. Could you try now? I made you mod. See if it works. If it doesn't work, that's fine, I think. we can figure it out on another day when I'm not. Oh, wait, why is it working now? What? Why does it work? Why is it working now? No. I said it, so it's everybody. What? I don't think it's mod only. No. I said it so it's subscribers, VIPs, and moderators. But, wow, it's been 20 minutes, you guys, and this is so dire for me. Ay. Is this triggering everybody? Is this triggering anyone? I can do this too. Whoa. while I try to figure this out. I haven't even talked about this, like, this model I made, this PNG I made, but I got for the thing. I made it so it's atmospheric and everything too. Okay, well, it is what it is. Hi guys. You troubleshooted it so much that you have 950 points. Okay, I think I need to reduce the amount of points you guys get. I think as far as it goes, the points, people are still accumulating points when they are chatting, because YouTube doesn't count. Well, the bot cannot count the YouTube views like Twitch does. So it counts it when people chat, and it calculates it based on like a minute increment, I think. At least that's what I read about it, but it could be different. Anyway, the fact that you have 950 points kind of explains it to me. How? Well, this is awkward. Yeah, it is quite, but it also doesn't really work on Twitch, so I don't know what's going on either. I thought it would work when I go live, but apparently it doesn't. And I don't want to troubleshoot it for too long. So, very unfortunate that this is happening. It might be, yeah. But when I know specialists, I know it's like chat. Yeah, I think next week I should be a little freer for like the weekdays and my schedule. Like I wanted to, so the time I set this up was Wednesday, but that's when my sister came over and I wanted to do a stream then, but I really wanted to do the stream now. But we haven't even started the stream yet, actually. I'm just here, whispering, troubleshooting, crying a little, but that's okay. That's okay. How's everyone doing? I am sweating a little, but that's okay because it is summer. I wanted to do a little ghost story time, and the blog I'm using for these stories is one of the older blogs that I used to follow, and they post a lot of translated stories, like ghost stories, cryptic stories where something is just a little strange, and I've always been kind of interested in it. If it makes you feel better, some streamers starting screen take 20 minutes. Yeah. I think I feel bad if it starts too late. I don't know. But I hope this is fine. This is already turning into a 30-minute. This is a 30-minute coding adventure, but it's just me struggle tweeting. Why is streamer cooling? Why is streamer bot not working for my viewers? But it's working for mods, so for sure it works. Yeah, it's okay. I think I'll still be able to do a little reading here and there. But do you guys know of this little tradition? It's not very popular in the Western, but it's quite popular in the Eastern, where you have a gatherings of friends or acquaintances, or anybody really. It can be strangers too. I've done it before, where you gather in a place of high spiritual energy and you start telling each other ghost stories in an effort sometimes to summon a spirit, but sometimes, and most of the times, it's just for fun. They do that in like a lot of different forms. It can varies from country to country. I know in Japan they do it, which is kind of similar to the version I'm simulating today, which is Hyaku Monogatari Gaidankai, which is 100 ghost stories told in a single night. I don't think I'll do 100 stories because by myself especially because I don't think that's possible and I don't want to be here all night. But I will go through depending on the length of the stories, I'll go through a few of them. It can be a ritual if you set it up correctly, I think. In Japan, you will, well, this is a fire hazard, so don't do this at home, obviously. But in Japan, you can set up 100 candles, 100 candles, and you will have a group of people. It can be any number of people. Usually, sometimes I do 4 because the number 4 is a significant number in the spiritual world. But sometimes you can have as many as you like, as long as you can fit into the room. And after each person has told their stories, they go around and they each tell stories. And once they have done with their story, they will blow out 1 candle at a time. And as the night goes on and each person tells their stories and blowing out the candle, the rooms will get darker and darker and darker and darker. And at the end of the story, there should be no candles left. There will be no light left in the room. And you will be engulfed in darkness. And that's usually when a spirit might come and visit you. But if you don't want to finish the ritual, then you will stop at exactly 99 stories and you will leave the 100 stories unsaid. So the spirit who has come will not appear. There are many versions of the stories. When I was a kid, I think my family actually took a night van up a mountain. So, okay, actually don't do this at home because thinking back, it was pretty dangerous. But it was, we were vacationing up in the mountains and my family took me, I think I was around 6 or 7 at the time. And they took me and my sister and a bunch of our cousins up this abandoned house. I think it was a mansion. It was a pretty tall and big as far as I can remember. And they actually all went in, but I was too afraid of the house to come in, and I think my mom was worried that I might start crying. So, do not do this. Absolutely do not do this. This is a warning. They left me in the car alone and went into the house. Do not do this. We were on a mountain road in the middle of a forest. There's no light. There's no light except for the car headlights. And I was sitting in the car for about an hour. And I can see, I think there's some people who stood outside and was watching me from the group. But most of them went into the house. And my only memories of this time was that if you look left and right, there were only forests in the house in front of me. And yeah, actually do not do this. Don't go into abandoned housing. Even if you're urban exploring, maybe be safe, you know, maybe be safe. That city was kind of notorious for ghost sightings too, so I think that's why they were excited about it. But I must be honest with you. That was the core memory for me. But we have, I'm very fond of ghost stories telling gatherings because my family did do it a lot when we were younger and when everyone was still together. And my aunt and uncle would tell us stories, and then we would scare the kids, including me, because I was very young. And I think I was afraid of ghosts for the longest time. And I still think about a lot of the adventures they've taken us on. I did go to another abandoned building on another trip when I was a bit older, but not that much older. I think I was still in the single digit. I think my canon event, there's been a lot of canon events, but that one stuck with me. Another one actually, my actual canon event might have been when my swimming instructor kicked me into the pool because I refused to go in by myself. And that's how I learned how to swim. But you know what's funny? My dad watched all of it from the stadium because it was a pool for racing, I think. I was 6. It's okay. Now I know how to swim, so I won't die. But it was kind of traumatic, but that's okay. Oh, it's actually thundering where I am. That's awesome. Right. So, shall we begin with the ghost stories? I had my own ghost stories, but I will use the ones from the blog first because I think there are some interesting ones. And when I say ghost stories, sometimes there are not a lot of actual ghost sighting. Sometimes it just seems very cryptic. There's something just strange about the story. Oh my god, it is actually storming where I am. Oh. The thunderstorm is here for me. if the stream cut out at any point, we will know what happened. So, for the first one, I was wondering which one I should use. But let me move some stuff real quick. Okay. So, for most of these stories, they are cryptic. So, once you've heard them, the fun of them is in finding out what's strange about them. Something in the story that might not add up. Something that just seems a little out of place. And maybe you don't see it at all, and that's okay. Because most of the times the spiritual worlds are very deceiving of the thing. Yeah. Timely ambience. Yeah, they're like a riddle, but they're not here to look for an answer. They're just here to make you think about what is going on and why would it seem strange to the people experiencing them. So this first story is called Found It. And it takes place in an abandoned hotel. So it's quite similar to the story I had earlier about me going to visit that abandoned house. That was not the first time, actually. That was not the only. Well, it was the first time, but it wasn't the only time that I've been to an abandoned house. Very strange. So, to begin the stories, I will read these stories in the voice of the people who experience them, because for the most part they are written in first person. And this first story is called Found It. I'm not sure if I should be telling this story, but I guess the statute of limitations is passed. So here it goes. Over 10 years ago, when I was a freshman in high school, some friends and I used to sneak into an abandoned building in the suburbs to hang out and have baked dinner. Strange thing to do. It was a place passed down to us by some senpai. Apparently, it used to be a love hotel. Isn't that risky? And some of the rooms still had beds in them. Of course, we only ever went there at night. We would bring flashlights and mostly hung out in what used to be the lobby. There were some couches we could sit on, although their springs were squeaky. Usually, there are 4 or 5 of us. Here's a word of advice if you're ever going to do anything related to spiritual stuff. Don't go in 4. That's usually a place to invite an extra person. It was the perfect spot for troublemakers like us, but since the senpai before us were known for doing some crazy antics, other people tended to stay away. So, we basically had the place all to ourselves. That night, there were 5 of us in the lobby, including me. We were hanging out, shooting the breeze, when it started to drizzle. That's when Shiro, the dumbass of the group, said, "Is there a bathroom?" Normally, we would just do our business in the bushes outside, but he was reluctant to go out because of the rain. "Wasn't there one through that door?" one of my friends said, shining a flashlight towards a door at the back of the lobby. "Yeah, but there's no water," someone replied. Shiro just said, it's fine, and walked off with the flashlight. A few seconds later, we heard his dopey voice saying, found it. But 10 minutes passed, then 20, and he didn't come back. We started getting worried. One guy called out, "Hey, you taking a dump or what?" and went through the door. Not long after, he came back, but looking a little pale. "Hey, Shiro's not there." "Not there? I mean, he's not there." "Just come see," he said, so we all got up and went to look. The room behind the door looked like some kind of office. There were 2 connected rooms, but it was obvious there wasn't a bathroom. Moreover, there were no other exits. Shiro has taken one of the flashlights, so we only had 2 left among us. But even with the limited light, it was clear that there was no place where a person could hide. We turned the place upside down, checked behind desks, inside lockers, but there was no sign of Shiro. The sheer weirdness of the situation freaked us out, and we all agreed not to tell anyone what had happened. I hesitated to say this, but Shiro didn't come from the healthiest of families. Even when he didn't come home, it seems like his parents never filed a missing person report. In the end, Shiro was just treated as a runaway and vanished without trace. After that night, we never went back to that love hotel again. Even after graduating high school, the incident never quite left my mind. What bothered me was not just the fact that he disappeared, but why did Shiro said, found it. For some reason, the more I thought about it, the more scared I became. Years later, I ran into one of my old friends from back then in town. We grabbed a table at a cafe and naturally started talking about that night. He told me that after the incident, one of the senpai told him why the love hotel has been abandoned. And what he told me chilled me to the bone. Apparently, it closed down because some of the guests has gone missing. No one knew how they disappeared, but it was enough for us to know. After telling me that, my friend suddenly fell silent and looked down. He kept stirring his lemon tea, which I have here. I have some tea with me. You guys can hear that. Which was actually empty now, except for a few ice cubes with a straw. Beads of cold sweat were forming on his forehead, Seeing that, I grabbed his shoulder and said, "Hey, what's wrong?" That's when he started talking about the details of what had taken place the night Shiro disappeared. You remember, I was sitting closest to the door Shiro went through. Now that he mentioned it, I seem to remember that was the case. Well, after the door closed behind him, I heard a quiet voice. You mean when he said found it? Found it? He nodded, his face deadly pale. That wasn't Shiro's voice. At that moment, I felt all the goosebumps from the past few years hit me all at once. And the story ends. What do you think about that one? I don't think this one is very much cryptic. I think this one is just a ghost story about a strange hotel that takes its guests away. But I hope it was enjoyable for you. Think, regarding these stories, did you think it was scary? Yes, I don't think a story that is straightforward can be scary. It was aliens. It could be. Mysteries of the disappearance of people is always a good place for ghost stories to be, or aliens. Stories like abandoned hotels and abandoned buildings are very common because that's where you're not supposed to gather, but for some reason there will always be a gathering, whether it's humans or spirits. We should move on to our next stories. This one is a little funny. I think this is a funny story. This one is actually not as an abandoned building, but I think it is an old building. It takes place at, it seems it to take place as an onsen, so a hot spring. And it's one of the ryokan that you can stay at. Oops, sorry about that. Onsens, whenever you think of onsens, you think of the bathhouse, the dinners, the yukatas. They're very traditional, and in a place that is old, it collects a lot of energy into it. The story starts with our protagonist, who is sleeping in a shared room with his colleagues. Seemed to take place in Izu. The protagonist starts the story, it's quite funny. He said, "It seems I snore really, really loud. Likely because I'm overweight. I can say that people who are thinner can also snore, but yeah." The other day, we went on a company trip to a hot spring in Izu. in the middle of the night, I happened to wake up and realized there was no one else in the room. That's strange, because as you remember, he was sharing the room with some other colleagues as well. Apparently, the weaker-hearted kohai I was sharing the room with couldn't take my snoring anymore and had fled to stay in someone else's room. Well, that's whatever, I thought. I might as well go to the bathroom, and headed towards there, only to find that the lights wouldn't turn on. As I found out later, it was one of those rooms where you have to insert the room key to activate the power, and the juniors have taken the key with them. Okay, you should have your own copies of the keys. I'm nitpicking this. I feel a little bit uneasy, so I decided to leave the door open and sit down in the dark, like a proper adult. After a short while, I heard patter, patter, patter. The sound of bare feet walking across the room. Ah, I see what's going on here. Clearly, my kohai were trying to get back at me for the snoring by setting up some kind of jump scare. Ha! Clever boys. But I'm even more cunning than you. I'll turn the tables. Grinning to myself, I quietly slipped out the room through the door, sneaking down the hallway and exiting through the emergency exit to circle around the courtyard. Our room was on the ground floor, right on the corner, so it was easy to get around from the outside. Making sure not to be seen, I crept up to the window and peered inside. In the pitch-black room, I could make out a figure standing there. Taking a deep breath, I suddenly rattled the window and yelled at the top of my lungs, "Hey!" The figure instantly turned around and slid towards me, smoothly, in a straight line. Wait, they're not scared? Wait, that's not one of the kohai. What the hell? I looked again. A woman in a traditional kimono, holding a tray, her head bowed, charging straight at me. That's not human. I bolted, barefoot, running as fast as I could. When I glanced back, she was chasing me, tray in hand, trembling with this weird clattering sound. I didn't stop. Eventually, I made it to another colleague's room, banged on the door, and they let me in. We could hear the tray rattling back and forth in front of the door for a while, and finally, it went quiet. The next morning, I told the kohai what had happened. They said, "It wasn't because of your snoring. We left because there was a woman standing over your bed, staring at your face the whole time you were sleeping. We got too scared and ran." And that's the end of the story. I think this one is in a very lighthearted tone. For the most part, it's very funny that the kohai would just leave their colleagues to probably die because they were too scared of the lady. And the senpai did not mind at all, but he was chased by a strange woman. Yes, it seemed they just left him. But, I mean, if you saw a strange, ghostly figure above a colleague, would you help? Or would you just leave him, you know? I would probably ignore it myself, personally. Sometimes the best way to interact with the spirit world is not to interact with them at all. It's like, if you don't see it, it doesn't exist. But that was just another traditional ghost stories. They definitely could have. There was a lot of things they could have done to help him. But if they saw the woman and they didn't yell, but quietly crept out of the room, then I think it is a bit cooked for all parties involved. I think it's very interesting. It is a funny ghost stories. No one got really hurt in the end, but they did have a spooky encounter with a lady in a kimono. I think it's also very rude that he would say that's not human. But I'm glad that he went to the bathroom before he encountered her. That was our second ghost story of the night. How is everyone doing? I think for the next one, there are longer and shorter stories I could do. And for the next one that I wanted to tell, it is a short one. It's quite short actually. And it is a cryptic story. This is a story from when I used to work as a delivery driver for a shipping company. As usual, I was out making deliveries during the day. One day, I had to go to an old, deserted, multi-tenant building tucked away in an alley behind a bustling downtown area. Judging by its appearance, it must have been several decades old. It was in the middle of the summer, like we are now, and I had to go up one of the higher floors, so I gave in to laziness and decided to take the elevators. As soon as I pressed the button, the door opened immediately. Then, suddenly, a woman burst out of the elevator screaming, with a twisted expression on her face. Startled, I instinctively stepped back. She ran off into the shopping district and vanished. What was that? Did some yakuza do something awful to her? Was she high on drugs? In a building this damp and creepy, who knows what kind of stuff might be going on inside? I cautiously peeked into the elevator, but there was nothing unusual inside. There was no signs of anyone coming down from the stairs either. creepy. I better just drop off the package and get out of here. Thinking that, I stepped into the elevator. The package was for the 8th floor. Weird. There is only one button in this elevator. And that's where the story ends. There seems to be an answer to this riddle. And I think the questions was posed very obviously of what could have happened inside this elevator. Do you have any guesses? As far as this goes, the way it ends tells you that there is only one button in this elevator. Can you take a guess of what that button could be? Elevator. It could lead to a torture room. But if there is only one button in this elevator, and the lady earlier suddenly screamed when she ran out, the most likely of the button is the close button, right? Because there's only one button that you can press inside, and if you press it, the elevator will close and you will have no way out until someone from the outside press on the elevator itself to open it, and thus trapping another one in. So that's the nature of these cryptic stories, where you can either find the answers, like the one just now, which is a very obvious one, or they might be a little bit more complicated and cryptic, and sometimes you don't have to find the answers for them, but I think they're fun to do. That was our third stories of tonight. For the next one, this is a story of a look-alike, or a doppelganger, as some might say. This is a story I heard from my ex-boyfriend. I met him through an online bulletin board. From the very first time we chatted, for some reason, I found myself really drawn to him. At an offline meetup, I was the one who confessed my feelings. I'm overweight and not conventionally attractive, while he looked like a movie star. So, I fully expected to be rejected, but to my surprise, he accepted my feelings without hesitation. Later, when we start talking about marriage, I asked him, "Why did you decide to go out with me?" He let out a long sigh and said, "To be honest, you're not my type at all when it comes to look." But ever since I was a kid, I've always been followed by someone who looks exactly like you. Hi, it's Lama. Don't worry, welcome. It's okay. We spent the first half an hour troubleshooting, and I actually didn't even fix it. But I didn't understand what he meant, so he showed me some photos. From kindergarten through elementary, middle school, high school, and college. In every group photo, there was a girl who looked exactly like me. They weren't actually me, but even I had to admit they all looked uncannily like me. He told me it all started when a girl who looked like me confessed to him in kindergarten. He turned her down, and the very next day, she was killed in a traffic accident. Ever since then, a girl who looked like me would always show up at every stage of his life. So when he met me at the meetup, he already knew I'm going to get confessed to again. Even when he turned down one of my lookalikes and dated someone else, that person would somehow begin to resemble me over time. It disturbed him so much that he and his parents eventually went to see a spiritual medium. The medium told him, "This is your fate until the end of life. Accept it." His story left me deeply confused, and after a lot of thinking, I decided to break up with him. Recently, he contacted me to say he's getting married. Apparently, she looks just like me. And that's the end of the story. What do you think? I think doppelgangers are a strange phenomenon. I don't think I would like to meet a doppelganger of me. I think it would freak me out. If I meet myself, what would you do if you meet someone who looks like you, but you know it's not you? I don't think I would like to meet them again. Because if I do, sometimes when you meet your doppelgangers, it means something bad might happen. Or at least that's what people believe to be. But, well, there's always a certain group of people who would be excited to meet themselves. I would be very happy for them if that happened. That was a story of a look-alike. I feel sorry for the guy. Saying to eternally be cursed or blessed to be with the same person no matter who he meets. Sounds like a setup for a fight to the death. It certainly could be. When there's more of you, who knows what would happen? I think, and that was the fourth story. At least I think I'm keeping track of it. And I think I will end the stream today with the longest stories, but before that I like to tell some shorter ones. This one is called The 3-Minute Photo, and it happens in another onsen town in Gunma Prefecture. This is a story about a guy I know who used to be an aspiring comedian. He's been trying to make it in Tokyo for years, but he never really caught a break. Eventually, he decided to give it up and head back to his hometown to find a regular job. A very typical story. You can hear every time whenever someone leaves for the big city, but they don't make it, so they decide to return home. to find a more mundane job. There's nothing wrong with it. It's very stable, I think. His hometown was somewhere in the countryside of Gunma. But when he was back, he found he didn't really want to see any of his old friends. After all, he told everyone, "I'm going to Tokyo to become a famous comedian." It was awkward, and more than anything, he just couldn't mentally let go of the dream. So, he ended up lazing around his parents' house for a while. Then one night, around 1 a.m., he suddenly jolted awake. He thought, "I can't keep going on like this. If I do, I'll become a total loser. I need to get it together for real." His parents had a connection who could help him find a job, so he decided, first thing in the morning, I'll take my resume over there and introduce myself properly. He knew that if he went back to sleep, he'd just wake up around noon again, then put it off until the next day, then the next, then the next. So he thought, no, I'll stay up. I'll write up my resume now and go straight there as soon as morning comes. However, he needed a photo for a resume, and he was wondering what to do about that. He remembered a place on the edge of the shopping street, a big supermarket called Saito Store, run by the family of his old middle school classmate, Saito-kun. It was one of the bigger stores in the area, and he remembered that it used to be one of those 24-hour instant photo booths on the first floor. So he thought, alright, I'll go take the photo there. He started walking through the shopping street in the dead of night. But looking around, he couldn't help but notice how run down the area had become. Many of the shops had gone out of business because of economic recession. There used to be brightly lit signs, vending machines glowing in the dark, fluorescent lights lining the arcade. Now, the lights were flickering or completely out. The place felt eerie and abandoned. Man, this place was really falling apart. It's kind of creepy, he thought as he kept walking. And the deeper he went, the darker and more desolate the shopping street became. Eventually, he reached the Saito store, but it was completely shut down. Not only that, but it practically lays in ruins. This used to be the biggest store in town. Now look at it. Pitch black. But then he noticed that inside the collapsed store, the 3-minute photo booth was still there, glowing faintly with a greenish light. I'll just take the picture and get the hell out of here. He headed towards it. As he approached, he noticed someone was already using it. Despite the late hour, the curtain was drawn shut. Who can be taking a photo at this hour? Well, I guess I can't be the one to complain. I'm doing it too. He looked down and saw beneath the curtain the hem of a bright red skirt, pale, slender legs, and shiny, red, shiny heels. It's a woman. He figured he'd wait until she finished, but it was dark and creepy. There wasn't really anywhere decent to sit in the ruined building. He was just standing around awkwardly when he looked back and saw the curtain wide open. No one was there. What? She was just there a second ago. He was weirded out, but determined to take the photo. He stepped inside, closed the curtain, adjusted the seat, and put in the money. The camera started automatically. Okay, let's just get this done and over with. But then, am I beautiful now? Am I beautiful now? Suddenly, he heard a woman's voice. When he looked down, there were those red high heels and pale legs right outside of the curtain. Who the hell is she? He was freaked out, but he already paid and didn't want to waste the money. He's very resourceful. So he tried to ignore it, faced forward, and composed himself. But the voice kept coming in through the curtain. Am I beautiful now? Am I well dressed now? Am I beautiful now? He gritted his teeth, took the photo, and threw open the curtain. No one was there. Just darkness in every direction. What? Who the hell was that woman? Is she nuts or something? He wanted to get out there, but the old-style photo booths didn't spit out the photos right away. Maybe it took a bit of time to develop or dry the photos. Anyway, he had to patiently wait until they come out. So he stood outside the booth, waiting, glancing around nervously. Eventually, with a thunk, the photos came out. Alright, time to go. But then again from the darkness, he heard the voice. Hey, am I beautiful now? Am I well dressed now? That was it. He bolted, sprinted full speed out of the shopping street. I agree, he has zero survival instincts, but he was determined to get those photos because he paid. He reached the entrance just as a car was coming down from the road and honked at him. What the? He thought. Turned out, it was an old friend from middle school, one he used to be really close with. He was so relieved. Wow, long time no see. Hey, you were in Tokyo, right? You back for good? Yeah, I just got back. The town's really changed, huh? They started chatting up. Welcome back, Cywolf. Don't worry. Oh, speaking of changes, that Saito store, did it go out of business? Huh? You haven't heard? It was a huge deal, made the news and everything. No, I haven't heard anything. What happened? Well, where to begin? Do you remember that girl from middle school, Yoshida-san, in our class, the fat one? Oh yeah, her. She was gloomy, hardly ever talked. wore glasses, super serious. Yeah, that's her. Turns out she fell for Saito. And Saito, being the womanizer he was, he hooked up with her a few times, even though he had a wife. But Yoshida was serious about it, you know? When the wife found out, all hell broke loose. The couple ended up saying some really cruel stuff to her. Rumor had it they called her ugly, a pig, told her to look in the mirror before falling for someone. She had to try wearing something besides the drab gray clothes. That broke her. She developed some kind of mental illness and shut herself in. Didn't come out for a long time. Saito, meanwhile, patched things up with his wife and went back to work like nothing happened. And about a year later, it was a boiling hot summer afternoon. Yoshida suddenly burst into the Saito store screaming. She poured gasoline all over herself and set herself on fire right there. Burned to death on the spot. After that, of course, no one would shop there anymore. Saito's wife left him. The store went out of business. And Saito disappeared. Wait, what happened? I just been to the Saito store and saw a woman there in a red dress. Oh, so you know about it. Yeah, a red dress. That's what she was wearing. She stormed in wearing a red dress, doused herself in gasoline, went up in bright red flames, died right there. Panicking, he looked down at the photo he'd just taken, but those weren't photos of him. It was the ones taken just before his. There were 4 identical photos of a woman's face, completely charged and blackened. And the story ends. And in the end, he didn't even get the photos he paid for. Despite staying there for so long. I think the stories is quite creepy. It's straight up a ghost stories for this one. There was really no speculations when the woman appeared. I think the protagonist has the survival instincts of a capybara, but I'm glad he survived. But he might be haunted going forward. But I think the ghost was very polite. She was just asking him questions. What do you think of the story? I hope my reading of the story so far has been okay. That you could enjoy them. That one was a longer story. The Gunma Prefecture, as far as I know about it, it has quite a bit of onsen town. But as one would have like those older town, there's a lot to see. Now some yet and probably cursed 0 star of 5. Yeah. I think if he had just waited a little bit longer and not take the first one that pops out, because as he knew, the one before him didn't even pop out. So, too bad for him. He did get the woman, so I guess now there's just a ghost out there who has his picture. And I hope she enjoys the protagonist's pictures. I also hope he gets his job tomorrow. Very unfortunate. But he survived, so it's all good. I think the protagonist for our next stories would not be so lucky. But let's follow it, shall we? The story is from a chat room in Japan, so most of it will be dialogues. I will try my best to be as clear as possible when I read it. It's also quite a longer one, so I think this will be the last one to close out for tonight, and then we can hang out a little bit after. But the story is called Hisaragi Station. It starts with a message on a chat forum. Maybe it's only my imaginations, but can I say something? Sure, go ahead. What's happening? I've been on a private railroad train, but something is wrong. Alright. The train is the one I always use, but for the past 20 minutes, it hasn't stopped at any station. Usually it stops every 5 minutes, or every 7 or 8 at longest, but it hasn't stopped at all. There are 5 other passengers in my car, but everyone is sleeping. You haven't gotten off the car already, have you? Isn't it about a difference between a limited express train and a normal train? A special rapid express train? Maybe you are right. I might have gotten on the wrong train. I'll wait and see a bit longer. If I notice some other strange things, I'll post again. Why don't you go to the other car at the end of the train and see the conductor? What if the conductor is having an epileptic fit? It will be a disaster. Go have a look at the conductor's compartment at once. It's showing no signs of stopping yet, so I'll go take a look. There was a blind drawn over the window, and I couldn't see any conductor or operator. The line is a Shizuoka private line. Why don't you tap on the window? I knocked on the window, but there was no response. Can you see something from the windows? Like the names of the stations has gone past? It slowed down and has come out of the tunnel. Usually there are no tunnels along the line. It's a train from Shin Hamamatsu. It's stopping. I think it's a station. You are not getting off there, are you? The train is now stopping at Kirasagi Station. Should I get off? I've never seen or heard of the station before. What time did you catch the train? Yeah, come on, get off. Please stay on the train until the final stop. It must have already left the station by now anyway. I've gotten off. I see no one in the station. I think I caught the 11:40 p.m. train. I've searched for Kirasagi Station on the web, but nothing has come up. But Hasumi train was running non-stop for over an hour? Well, off to a path. No search results for Kirasagi Station. I want to go back to the station I've originally come from, but I can't find a timetable. The train is still stopping, so maybe I should get back on it again. Oh, but the train left as I was writing this. Are there any building near you which might have some people inside? It's cold out there, so take care. I'll go outside the station and try to pick up a taxi. Thank you very much. You better do that. Take care. What's with the last train gone and an empty station? I think you have a hard time finding a taxi. And Hasumi became a resident of the two-dimensional world. Not only there are no taxis, there is nothing around the station. What now? Find a station staff to go to the nearest police box. Call 110. 110 is the emergency number in Japan. Call a taxi company. You have no choice now but to go to K. If there's a telephone box near you, find a taxi company in the yellow pages and call. I called my parents and asked them to come pick me up, but they also have no idea where Kirasagi Station is. They said they'll look for it on the map first and then come find me. I'm getting scared now. What's happened to the others? Are you the only one who got off? Hasumi-san, I also searched on the net but found no stations by the name of Kirasagi. You're certain that you're around Shinhamamatsu, right? I'll try searching on Yahoo. Use Google, please. I tried to find a payphone, but I can't find it. The other didn't get off, so I'm all on my own. There's no mistake about the station name being Kirasagi. Sometimes a payphone can be found on the outer edge of the station. Are you a game freak? I Googled it and came up with games. Why don't you get out of the station and see what happens? I searched for a bit and found out you could write Oni and pronounce it Kurasagi. Kirasagi. My bad. Post the names of the stations before and after Kisaragi Station. You must be able to see them. Oni Station? That's so creepy. What games? There are no signboards showing the stations before or after this. Keep walking along the track and you'll get home. If you start running now, you may be able to catch the train that just left. Surely there are some houses around the station. Yes, that didn't come to my mind before because I've been too panicky. It is now 1 a.m. for this lady. I'll start walking along the track while I wait for my parents to call me. I checked my locations on iMode's town information just now, but all it showed was some point-something error. I really want to go home. Troll or no, I'm determined to tackle this seriously until we find a solution. There's really nothing around the station. All I can see are some grassland and mountains, but I guess I'll be able to go home if I keep walking along the tracks, so I'll do that. Thank you very much. I don't mind if you think this is a troll, but can I consult you again if I have some problems? Sure, just be careful. Yeah, sure. Be careful with your battery though. That's your lifeline now. Don't get mixed up with the directions, and be careful when you are inside the tunnel. Can you get a mobile signal in the area where there are no buildings? I think you shouldn't move from the station. A cold night, alone in an empty station. The lights too might go out soon, and she might find herself in complete darkness. It can't get darker in the tunnel. She's gonna go into the tunnel now, isn't she? It would have been better if she just stayed on the station and waited for daybreak. She screwed up. It is now 1:30 for Hasumi. My dad just called me and we exchanged some questions and answers, but we still can't figure out where I am. So he said I should call 110. I'm still reluctant, but will call now to ask for help. I think it might be easier if you wait until it's light to start acting on something. Would you be able to just stay still and wait if you were all by yourself in the middle of the night in a strange, abnormal place? Would you be able to go into the tunnel if you were all by yourself? Well, then you would be able to keep walking in the cold in a strange place like that. I called 110 and explained my situation as much as I could, but they got angry thinking I was playing a prank, and I got scared and ended up apologizing to them. Why apologize to them? There's nothing further you can do for today. Just wait for the first train to come. I can hear some sort of drum beats mixed with some sounds of bells coming from a distance. I honestly don't know what to do anymore. What is it like around the station? What do you see? Go back to the station for now, Hasumi. If any doubt, the best course of action is to go back to the starting point. What is about to happen? Drum beats and bells? Jangle bang bang. Probably they're having a festival or something. You might think I'm lying, but I'm too scared to look back. I want to go back to the station, but I can't turn around. Run. Don't even think about turning around. You can't go back to the station anymore. If you do, you get spirited away. Just run to the tunnel. It should be nearer than you think. Someone shouts at me from behind, say, "Hey, don't walk on the track, it's dangerous." I turn around thinking it might be a station staff, but I see this old man with only one leg standing around 10 meters from me. But then he disappeared. I'm far too scared to move anymore. Hasumi-tan, calm down and listen, okay? Go to the place from where the sound of drums are coming. There must be someone who is beating the drum. Where do you think you are taking Hasumi to? I told you don't turn around. Just run. If there's only one leg, how does she know it's an old man? She means it's an old man who only has one leg missing. No, Hasumi's gonna be spirited away now, so she should go back if she can go back. Can't walk or run. The sounds of drum beats getting closer. The old man may be someone who lost his leg on the track by getting hit by a train. Hasumi, wait for the daybreak, when slight things no longer seem so scary. She should have stayed on the train. Still here, I'm bleeding now from a wound I got when I tripped over something, and also have a broken heel. I don't want to die. Well, the situations won't get any better just by staying still. Of that I'm sure. Hasumi, I reckon you'll be safe when you are out of the other side of the tunnel. Once you are there, call the police and get some help. I called my home. Dad said he'll call the police, but the sounds are getting closer and closer. I hope that sounds not the sound of a train approaching. Well, maybe it is too late now. Just arrived in front of the tunnel. The name is Isanuki, and the sounds are getting quite close now. I'll muster the courage to go into the tunnel. If Hasumi manages to walk out the tunnel, we'll post again. You can do it. This is the end. The train is gone. So is the station. Nowhere to return. No one chasing after you. The sounds you're hearing are phantoms you created out of your past. Run to the other side of the tunnel. Stand still and you'll end up being stuck, groaning in place. Neither of this world or of the other world. At 3 a.m. in the morning, managed to go through the tunnel. I see someone standing not very far from me. I think I made a right choice in following your advice. Thank you very much. My face is ruined because of crying too much, but I think I could be mistaken for a ghost. Wait, Hasumi, don't go. Stop right there. That's a death trap. Someone just standing there at this time of night. It is now 3 a.m. Things can't get weirder than this. Sorry to have made you worry. The person turns out to be a very nice guy. He offers me a ride to the nearest station. He say there's something like a business hotel around here. Everyone, thank you so much. Hasumi, I have a question I want you to answer. Where are you? Can you ask the nice guy the name of the place you are in? Are you sure he's nice? He could be someone worse than a ghost. Well, you never know, but where the hell are you? That guy isn't right. How come he was standing around the railroad track at this time of day? He must have been disposing of a body or something. Saw Hasumi coming his way. You need to run. I asked him where I was, and he said it's Hina, but I think it's just plain impossible. Hasumi, get out of the car. Sorry, Hasumi, where is Hina? Such a weird story, that there could be a guy offering a ride to a girl who come walking down the track at this time of day. What was he doing there? We've been heading towards the mountains. Can't imagine there's a place to park a car there. He stopped talking to me. No decent person is up around this time of day. Maybe he stopped talking to you because you keep toying with your mobile. Hasumi, you are in real danger. Have you already called your parents and told them you've come out the tunnel and you are now sort of safe? Hasumi, please call 110. That might be the last message you're posting. Battery low. Things taking a weird turn, and I think I'm gonna try escape when there's a chance. For some time now, he's been muttering some incoherent words to himself. Just in case something happens to me, I'll make this my last post for now. And that's the end. After this, they had a few more posts claiming to be Hasumi, but apparently they all turned out to be fake. So in the end, Hasumi never appeared again. That was the story of a lady on a train track. What do you think about her choices throughout the story? I think at every possible turn she's taken, she took a left for her story. That was a long one and kind of unconventional ghost stories. I think at some point she might have hallucinated from being too scared as well. Of the old man on the track and the sounds of drums. But I wonder what your opinions on it are. Or what it could be. I was also wondering, alongside with ghost stories and cryptic stories, there are also curse stories. I say curse, which is sort of a weird word to say, but they're more like rituals that you can do to summon spirits or to travel to another world. If those are interesting to you. Your mind can play some nasty tricks on you sometimes. Yes, I agree. Your brain is a very strange thing that just makes up things as it goes. For the most part, some of your visions, you have seen videos on it, are not even real sometimes. They're just things that your brain has filled in. Throw a crazy train to a spirit world, yes. Sometimes I feel that these stories have something in common and that they just end up being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I feel sorry for them because there's nothing really that could have prevented it. Now I think personally Hasumin shouldn't have started walking on the track, but at like 3 a.m. in the morning. But, you know, what else should she be doing? She probably should have waited for someone. But that someone could have been dangerous too. Curiosity killed the cat, I agree. Yeah. I think if you were in that situation, I don't think I would have gotten off the train at all, but in the end, I might have. And then I definitely wouldn't have started walking on the tracks. In an endless world where there's nothing around. Summoning spirits sounds very sketchy. Can't say I'm a fan of random rituals. Yes. These are not recommended to do at home by yourself. Even these sort of storytelling sometimes. Certain people believe that you can summon spirits with them. It also depends on your state of mind. I agree. If you are panicking, but I think at that dark of a night, I would be too scared to move from where I was, or like away from the lights. I think sometimes the ritual shows, some of the rituals are very specific in what they need as well. Like, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this very popular ritual that was going around on the internet a while ago, but it is called solo hide and seek, where if you gather enough of a certain ingredients and materials, you can play hide and seek by yourself in your own home. And for the people who are fighting you or seeking you, well, I cannot say who they are, but something is definitely going to be looking for you when you play this game. So it's not recommended. I think for the most part, these are promised to be safe as long as you are following the rules very seriously and carefully, but would you promise yourself to be safe? There are like a few of these kind of rituals, things that you can do. I don't think I'm brave enough to do them myself, but I'm very interested in reading about them. Some of the rituals are a trap too, so sometimes there will be a warning on them that by just reading them, you have already started them. So I would be very careful if anyone's ever searched for them. But in like the dead of night, you know, they can be very fun to think about. I think I used to be quite scared of ghosts, but after a while, I think of them as quite interesting. But I think I mentioned this too, but I like ghost stories, but I can't do horror movies at all. Because I can't stand the jump scares that they use in them. I'm scared of jump scares. I don't think I'm scared of ghosts or spirits. But I can't deal with loud noises. which is unfortunate because I'm very interested in some horror games out there. I'm interested in the new Silent Hill F that's coming out. I think it's coming out next month. I would love to play it, but I don't know if I'll be brave enough to do it. There's also a few other horror games I'd be interested in too, but I wonder if I'll be able to finish them if I buy them. I don't fully believe in spirit stuff. I also don't like tempting fate when I don't need to. I agree. There's always gonna be courage tests and bravery tests. But I think if I ever gonna find myself in a situations like that, I prefer not to be. I like to read about them. Yes, the person who wrote Silent Hill F is the same author who wrote Higurashi. I've actually never personally experienced Higurashi myself. I think around that time I was into different medias, and so I never got into like light novels and the animes and stuff, but I've heard it's pretty good. And I've heard something funny about it is the warning that Capcom posted on the page, the Steam page. It's so long. It lists out all the warnings for the story, which I think just make me more excited, but I don't know if I'll be able to play it. We'll see. I think if we reach a certain goals for Halloween, I might consider it. What's the first 4 seasons minus 1 episode of season 4? Yeah, I think if for me any media at this point is maybe a little too long for me to really get into them, but I'd love to. Yeah, the Steam page is so long. I got very excited about it, but yeah. So that was that the 5th or 6th story I did? I actually don't. I lost count at some point. How many did I read? I think that was the 6th story that I read. But how was it? I think how was the stream despite the hiccups in the beginning? I think I'll have to try and figure it out, because now I think it's not the bot, but it's the permissions that is a little weird. But yeah, it was the 6th, yeah. I think the permissions for stream, let's see. I like these like stories reading, but I think for the next one I'll do a more traditional ASMR stuff. Not so creepy, but I hope you guys like all the setup I did. Yeah, okay. Thank you. I think I'll try and figure it out. I'll do like a normal stream, like not an ASMR one, either on Tuesday or Wednesday. I should have time then. And then we can try and figure it out live. Is this what you guys subscribe for? The troubleshooting stream? I think my leg fell asleep. Hold on, sorry, this might be loud. Of my squeaky chair that I'm sitting on. Oh, I was sitting on my leg this whole time. It's like a gremlin telling ghost stories. But yeah, I have like a lot of, if you can see, like I have a lot of command sets up, but I wonder why they're not working for just normal viewers. It is a different place. It is so scuffed. It was working because if I do, let's see. Does it? Wait, no, it doesn't even. No, it does work. I have 5,000. Why do I have 5,700 points? Wait, why is it posting it twice? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, so now just going through my account now. So it's not even the bot. That's interesting. Also, I feel like that's a lot of points. I might need to increase the points for redeems. I thought it would take a little bit longer for them actually. Yeah. Why is it sending the Twitch message to YouTube? This is so strange. Okay, I'll just delete the Twitch messages actually. I don't need them. But then the one where it says that it says that it just sent the message to the platform. It doesn't work. And also the permission doesn't work either. It's so strange. Sorry, my nose is a little blocked right now. I have tea. Does anyone have drinks as well? Yeah. Well, there is a settings where you can set up the bot, like a different channel as a bot, but it didn't use the channel, I think, because I can set it as my mod. I guess I can set it as my mod now. Actually, I don't even have the channel with me. Hey guys, this is turning into a troubleshooting stream. We will see. I don't think so. Because all the tutorials doesn't mention that it's paid or premium. I'm pretty sure for the most part, this thing is free. Or at least I think it is. Oops. Or maybe, oh, sorry. I have to do a capture right now. Oh god. Whee. Oh god, now I can't remember my password. And now they're gonna send me a verification code. Guys. Wait. Now Wolf can't even test if it's if it was working. Because you're not a normal chatter anymore. Do you remember ages ago playing with Oh. Oh, wait. Am I still live? This is so dire. I do remember ages ago playing with making a custom bot which I even created. Not sure to account for it with fail through. It told me I have to pay a sub. Test it where? Oh. I can't test it right now because I can't sign in because then it stopped the streams. The This is so unfortunate, you guys. Have you ever failed a captcha? Have you ever failed a captcha because it sends you like nine squares of like a bicycle, of like a full bicycle, right? And then it's like select the square with the bicycle, but then you're not sure if you should click where there's like a sliver of like a wheel or something. But then you choose to click it, and then the bot, like the captcha, tells you that you're wrong. And then you questions everything about your life. Like, what am I supposed to do? I think captcha's the bane of my existence. The reading ones are fine, but sometimes they're also kind of jank. But yeah, I hate those ones where it's like a full image of a bus into 9 squares, and they're like, choose one with the bus. Please choose one with the bus. But then it tells me I'm wrong, and I don't know what a bus is. That's just so unfortunate. But yeah, at some point I just have to give up. I just try them. I just refresh them until they shows me different pictures in each square, and then I can do it. I don't like them at all. That's so weird. Oh, I don't think it's working, but can Otter, can you try doing redeems to see if they work? So you can just do the exclamation point redeems one. I don't think they're working though, because I had to put Cypoof into mod for it to work. Connect the pipe. That is so strange. I feel like they're evolving the AI to detect non-AI. Ah, of course it doesn't work. I'm so sad. Why? Why? No, it doesn't work. That makes me sad. I feel like maybe trying to connect the bot to the programs might screwed up something. Oh well. Well, I think as unfortunate as it is, I'll do like just a normal stream where we can figure it out, or if I figure it out before then. But I think that will be it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoy the scuffed horror reading streamed. Not sure if this really counts as ASMR, more so than me crying on streams about technical issues. I guess this can't really be a VTuber streams without scuff. I hope you guys have fun for it. But yeah. Well, at least we know it works with some and doesn't for others. Thank you for coming, guys. I hope you have a good night. You remember how I mentioned I had a deadline? I was speed running, so I didn't even finish it, so I now have to go and finish it. Wish me luck. Yeah. Scuff is part of the experience. Girl failure trying to fix her stream. Yeah, I just have so many issues. I would love to have a perfect stream sometimes. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys like the visuals and stuff too. I spent a lot of time. I know I didn't really point to it, but I spent a lot of time trying to set this up. So I hope you guys like this little PNG thing for the atmosphere. I might use it again for similar streams going forward as well. When I'm not using my live 2D and just a simple chatting streams like this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay, I'm gonna head out for the night. But thank you again for coming. It's quite cute in a spooky way. Thank you. Thank you. Am I cute? Am I cute in a kimono? Do you think I'm cute in a kimono? I wanna have more clothes in the future as well. Hey, yeah. お疲れでした。着物。yeah. はい、お疲れ様でした。はい。おやすみなさい。Hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday evening. And I really like the red, white, and lilies and the candles in the back. Thank you for the ghost stories. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. Yay. And this was really fun. And I'll do another one soon where it's not as scuffed. Thank you so much, guys. Bye. Good night. Good night.